What if I told you the reason you're not walking in God's promises has nothing to do with His power and everything to do with your posture? You pray, you serve, you show up at church, but deep down you're frustrated, wondering why the breakthrough hasn't come, why the healing hasn't happened, why the doors remain shut. The shocking truth is that many Christians are not denied, they're delayed by their own decisions. You can believe in God and still miss out on what He promised, just like the Israelites who wandered for 40 years, dying in the wilderness with the promised land in sight, but never underfoot. Not because God changed His mind, but because they never changed their mindset. You're standing on the edge of your promise, but still speaking the language of Egypt, doubt, fear, comfort, and compromise. You want the reward of faith, but you cling to the habits of unbelief. Hebrews 11 tells you that faith is the substance of things hoped for, but you secretly keep a backup plan in case God doesn't come through. That's not faith, it's insurance. And God doesn't bless double-mindedness. James 1 verses 6 to 8 warns that the double-minded man receives nothing. Nothing. That's not a maybe, that's a divine warning. You can tithe faithfully and still miss financial favor because you refuse to steward what you have with excellence. You can quote Jeremiah 29 verse 11 all day, but if you're not willing to obey when He redirects your steps, that future and hope stays on paper. Lot's wife looked back and lost everything in a single glance. How many of God's children are secretly looking back, stuck in cycles, obsessed with what He already said no to? And then there's Saul, chosen, anointed, powerful, yet rejected by God because of partial obedience. You obey halfway and then wonder why your destiny feels delayed. God doesn't bless rebellion dressed as religion. Even the rich young ruler, he kept all the commandments, lived clean, moral, devout, but walked away sorrowful because he wouldn't surrender what Jesus asked for. What are you still holding that God's been asking you to drop? The hidden truth few people talk about is this: you can be around the presence of God and still not walk in the power of His promises. It's not about being busy, it's about being aligned. Many are busy in ministry, but bankrupt in obedience. You hustle but you don't trust. You sing but you don't surrender. You fast but you don't forgive. And unforgiveness is a silent killer of destiny. Jesus said in Matthew 6 verse 15 that if you don't forgive others, your Father won't forgive you. That's not a suggestion, it's a condition. You cannot carry offense and expect overflow. Look at Esau, he traded his birthright for a moment of hunger. How many believers are trading long-term promises for short-term pleasure? A relationship God didn't ordain, a habit you refuse to crucify, a comfort zone you won't step out of. And all the while, God is saying, I have more, but I need your yes to be real, not emotional, not situational, not based on whether it makes sense, a real yes. Like Abraham, who left everything without knowing where he was going. Like Noah, who built an ark with no rain in sight. Like Mary, who said, let it be unto me, knowing the cost of carrying the promise. If you want to see the fulfillment, you have to walk like you already believe it's done. Your faith must act louder than your fear. You can't just hope your way into the promise, you must move your way into it. You must speak differently, think differently, respond differently. The promise has a process and few people have the endurance to finish it, but you must, because the saddest thing is not that Christians don't have promises, it's that they die never walking in them. Don't let that be your story. Decide today to silence every lie that tells you God forgot. He didn't. Romans 8 verse 28 is still true. He's working all things together, but only for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. Are you walking in purpose or just pacing in fear? Stop waiting for a sign, you are the sign. Your obedience is the key. Your surrender is the access point. The promise is already written. The only question left is, will you posture yourself to receive it or stay in the wilderness, hoping for what your heart won't fully pursue? Choose differently. Live intentionally. And believe wildly, because God's promises are yes and amen, but they are not automatic. If this message resonates with you, don't keep to yourself, share it, like and subscribe to our channel for more uplifting videos like this. Stay blessed.